This is going to be an upper body movement break, so if you have an injury going on, this might not be ideal for you. Swap out with what does work for you. Always being respectful and kind to our bodies here. But we're going to just start off with a deep breath. So inhale, nice deep full inhale, reaching up for the ceiling. And then a nice complete exhale, just transitioning from what we dealt with this morning into this break for ourselves. One more. Inhale, really deep, full inhale, thinking about breathing into both sides of your rib cage evenly, expanding your chest as much as you possibly can. And then whenever you're ready, exhaling it all out. Really squeeze every last air molecule out of you that you can. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring arms up and out to the side. So what if you only have this much space? No problem. Hold on to your shoulders. You're going to draw circles around your shoulders with your elbows. And we're going to aim to make those circles even, symmetrical on that shoulder. So just as much behind as I have in front here. And if my arms are out to the sides, just as much behind my shoulder as is in front of my shoulder. Because you'll find when you try to put the circle symmetrically on your shoulder, very easy to go the front, kind of hard to go the back. And so we end up strengthening some of those muscles across our upper back by trying to bring the circle further behind us. Now, your arms are going to get tired faster if you have your arms long, straight out to the sides, than if you're holding onto your shoulders. So what can you do? You can take breaks. You can relax your arms down by your side and come back to it. Or you can be like, Sophie, can't stop talking, and just do this modification instead. Either way, we're still strengthening. Let's reverse the direction of the circle. And check in with your shoulders, dropping them away from the ears a little bit more before continuing the circle here. Beautiful. Arms down by your sides, shake them out for just a second. If you have any tight spots already forming in your neck, shoulders kind of area here, just do a quick mini stretch for that right now so it's not dragging you down. The next thing we're going to do is a little bit of strengthening for the front of the body. I'm going to call it a prayer squeeze. I don't know if anybody else calls this a prayer squeeze, but I'm going to put my hands in front of me, almost like a prayer pose. I think you can see that all right. Now, if this is not kind on my wrists, I can clasp hands like this. I can push knuckles together. It'll feel slightly different on my hands, but it's going to still target the front of my body in the same way. So however you choose to place your hands, I'm going to have you put hands right in front of your body here, right in front of your chest, and then squeeze together for a count of 3, and then release. So you can see if my wrists are not very flexible, that could be quite uncomfortable. Adjust if you need to. And then we're going to do another squeeze, as hard as you can, and release, and a third. Squeeze. And release. Now I'm pushing against myself. So if I am symmetrical and my right arm is just as strong as my left arm, I should be able to use a fair amount of power here and make it pretty challenging for myself. Something to consider as you do it. Now, we're going to change our angle because you guys know I love changing angles. I'm going to put my hands down lower, so about belly button height, and I'm going to squeeze again. Release. You are welcome to go at your own pace here with a 3-second squeeze and a break. And if you need a little wiggle break, that's fine. And then our last one. And release. So now, next thing I'm going to do is up above. This could be about face height. This can be higher, however you feel comfortable. And again, Squeeze for 3 seconds and release. Squeeze and release. And last one. 2, 3. Woo! All right, so we've done a little strengthening for the back, a little bit of strengthening for the front, and now let's get a big, glorious stretch. So I'm gonna do the biggest circle that I can with my arms, and I'm gonna reach in front. You can see I'm allowing my back to round a little bit for a nice stretch. I'm gonna go up. Now, what if I don't have space in front of me? Just clasp elbows here, reach in front, go up, and then reaching up here. If I want to get a little bit of a side stretch, I can, or I can reach back and think about, or back, and think about bringing my elbows behind me. And then slowly going down. So as my arms are going behind me, I'm finding all of those nice little stretches, seeing if I can bring them back behind me a little bit more. And if I find something that feels amazing, like maybe this W position feels amazing, I can hang out there for a couple of breaths. So find a place where it feels like a nice juicy stretch. Maybe you want to bring your hands on your hips and use your hips as some leverage to bring your elbows back. That's fine too. Find a nice juicy stretch and just take a really deep breath here. So inhaling, using that to open your chest just as much as you can, trying to feel the stretch change slightly with that deep breath. And then exhaling. Beautiful. All right, we're going to continue getting our stretch break for our upper body with a nice lat stretch. So I'm going to reach up with my right hand, then I'm going to reach down my back. If I could, I would touch my spine. And then I am going to use my left hand to help myself into the stretch and reach down my back a little bit further. Now, hopefully, you can see that there's still space between my neck and my bicep here. And that's because my shoulder's down. If my shoulder's up, I can glue right together. If my shoulder is down, there's more space. If possible, have your shoulder down. Beautiful. If it feels good, you can get another little mini side bend here. If not, stay where you are. And we're going to switch sides whenever you're ready. So, left arm up, reach down your back. Hold onto the elbow with the right hand. Drop your shoulder away from your ear. Just play with the stretch. Getting that side bend if it feels good. Taking a deep breath to change the stretch that way if you'd like. And whenever you are ready, you could bring both arms down. Do a couple of shoulder rolls. And just check in with yourself. How do you feel right now compared to when you were checking in with yourself when we first started? It's 9 minutes of stretching, so if that's amazing for you, that's probably good data. The next thing we're going to do is just steel eagle arms for yoga. So I'm going to have my arms up to the side here. However, you need to have them to make it work with your space. I'm going to cross my right arm over my left, and I am either going to hold onto my shoulders or pretzel up. Just making sure that you can see that detail there. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some adjustments to help myself settle into the stretch. So starting off, I'm going to drop my shoulders away from my ears. Next, I'm going to bring my elbows just a little bit higher in space, and I'm going to push the back of my head back. Now already, that's feeling like a pretty good stretch for me. I'm not prone to flexibility, But I'm also going to take a deep breath here and see if I can settle in just 1 millimeter more. So deep breath. Trying to maintain those adjustments that we did before as we breathe. But then now to settle in further, I'm going to see if I could drop my shoulders just a little bit more, raise my elbows just 1 millimeter, and then push the back of my head back just a little further. Beautiful. Hopefully this feels fabulous for you. And you should be feeling it in your traps here, maybe in the back of your shoulders and across your upper back. Now, we have the right arm on top first. We're going to switch and do the left arm next. So, now left arm goes on top. Either hold onto your shoulders or pretzel up. And we're going to do the adjustments to help find a nice, deep, satisfying stretch. So, elbows are high, shoulders are low, ears push back. And we take a deep breath here. Go ahead, you're going to settle into the stretch just a little bit more. So dropping those shoulders away from the ears, even if it's microscopic. Lifting the elbows just a little bit higher and pushing the back of the head back in space. And release. When you release, because you've been in a kind of crunched up position for a little while, you might feel like a few shoulder rolls would be nice. Go for it. Follow that intuition. So we got a nice stretch through the back of our neck and our upper back and our shoulders. We're going to put our hands behind our back, clasping them if you can, and then drawing knuckles down in space. Or if you prefer, you can hold on to your hip bones or your back pockets and just tuck your elbows behind you. Either way, what we're aiming to do is roll the shoulders open, keep the elbows behind us just to keep that chest open. And now we're going to take a deep breath to settle in here. Thinking about expanding just the very front of your chest, deepening that stretch. And then we're going to do some neck stretches in this position. So if you are able to be in this position, but it feels a little cranky on your shoulders, back off, right? Starting off, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Rock your head a little bit forward, a little bit back in space. Finding those juicy stretches. If you find a good one, just take note. Oh, need a little more of that in my life. And then roll your head over to the center and over to the other side. So now my right ear is close to my right shoulder. Playing with the ankles here just a little bit. Finding those nice tight spots. And always, instead of saying, gosh, what's wrong with you, muscle in my neck, saying, oh, you must have been working hard. Thanks so much for doing that. Just bringing that gratitude in for our bodies. Appreciating the hard work it does for us all day. And I'm going to continue keeping my hands behind my back. If you prefer to reach for the floor, that's totally fine. Or allow your arms to relax, that is also okay. If you have a very tight neck, that might be better for you. So follow your body's lead. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to look over the left shoulder as far as is comfortable. Look over the right shoulder. And back to center. And one more time, each side, seeing if I can look just a tiny bit further. I'm not forcing it, I'm just giving it the opportunity to go a little bit farther. Beautiful. And now we have already hit our magical 12:15. So we're just going to end with a final deep breath. I love the volcano breath. We're inhaling arms up and exhaling them down. But you can do any breath that you would like here. Just fueling yourself with a little oxygen to go on with the rest of your day in an energized, refreshed state. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care, everyone.